What's up? What's up? What's up? Week 4 already. Holy crap. Week 3 in the books. And it was absolute trash. Just like the first 2 weeks. Fantasy season not starting off too great, huh, Kyle?
No. Week 3 was a dumpster fire. Now we're in week 4. We're almost a quarter of the way through the season already, which makes me want to throw up.
Yeah.
And my teams are not doing what I thought they would when I drafted them.
Dude, I thought I had great rosters, and they're just totally flopping.
Yeah, they're either getting hurt or they're just not performing. Like, okay, apparently I should have drafted Jawan Jennings, and he would be more consistent than Christian Kirk. Who knew? Like, I mean, I've got tight ends everywhere that are not scoring points at all. QBs underperforming. This was the first week Mahomes got 20 points, but barely. Like, I don't know, man. It's not been good. I'd rather be here with all of these fine folks than trying to get my own rosters to do something. So
that's the truth, man. It's rough out there. I'm just not having it. I have roster where, even at the beginning of the week or even beginning of Sunday, maybe even the first round of games, I'm projected to win by 30 or 40 points. And by the end of that second round of games, it's like, oh, by the way, you're going to lose by 20. And then by the end of Monday night, you've lost by 40. And it's like, where did my team go? They just disappeared. It's just wild.
It is heartbreaking. It is very hard. I'm definitely a better coach than player in this instance.
Yeah, I'm not doing too good. I am going to let our friends over on Instagram know that we are live, not Instagram, Twitter. Sorry. We'll let our Twitter friends know that we are live in case they want to come hang out with us a little bit and chat it up this evening. So, who do you got, man? Such a weird time right now, right? Like, what kind of waiver wire crap are we looking at? Here's my problem with waivers, right?
I have a lot of problems with waivers.
There's a lot of problem with waivers for me because how many of these guys are we just jumping at because they're having these weird performances? Am I going and spending fab on guys who might have just been a flash in the pan? We finally saw guys like Christian Kirk did finally have a good week. McLaurin finally had a good week. Like, are we going after some of these other guys now that these stars, some of them are kind of starting to come on a little bit? It's so hard after 3 weeks to know who's actually going to be good this season and who's not, because the good players have had just as many good weeks or less than bad weeks. It's so tough.
Yeah, it's like Jawan Jennings, like that's fool's gold. I'm not spending money on him. Just as an example, but yeah, like there are some though that I feel like are going to be nice pieces to have when you look at like Sam Darnold. If you need a QB, seems to be playing pretty legit this year.
Yeah.
And honestly, like QB is kind of weird right now because you still got guys. I mean, I know he didn't have a great week this week. Well, both of these next two didn't. Baker, Derek Carr, they've both been playing really well until this week 3.
Yep, flopped.
Still available in a lot of leagues. If you're needing QB help, if you waited and these guys are available, scoop them up. Andy Dalton looks like he's going to get that offense going a little bit. So QB for sure is a place where you can find some help. One guy I'm looking at, if he's still on your waiver wire, which I don't know how he would be at this point, if you're in a league that has any idea what they're doing, but Bucky Irving, scoop him immediately if you can get a hold of him.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of good usage there. Are you worried about Rachaad White? I know you're a Rachaad White truther. You called him last year being that good player. He had a breakout season and everything. That was your pretty much call of the year last year. Man, Bucky's kind of coming on.
Bucky is a better rusher.
Yeah.
Rachaad White's still going to be the better receiver out of the backfield.
Mm-hmm.
I think, if I drafted Rachaad White expecting him to be my RB1, I'm worried.
Yep.
Because he's basically about to be a pass catching specialist. And, that's still going to result in some fantasy points, but it's not going to get you your RB1 numbers that you wanted.
Well, I can tell you this. They split. They each had 12 touches. Well, I say that. Not really. Rachaad White had 6 targets. He only had 5 receptions, so he had really 11 targets or 11 touches. But, I mean, Bucky Irvin still was 3 for 3 receiving. I mean, that's quite a bit. I mean, with 14 yards as compared to 18 yards on 5 receptions for Rachaad White. I don't know, man. Bucky kind of worries me there. And I think what did help Rachaad White was the volume, right? So he got quite a bit of volume, and now not so much. So I am worried, like you said, if you drafted him to be your RB1, you're kind of screwed. You're hoping for Bucky Irving to get hurt, because fantasy football makes us trash human beings like that. So that's just what happens. Eek, it happens.
Yeah. Another guy he's not in danger of taking over the starting spot by any means, but another like 2 or 1B that I'd like to get my hands on would be Braylon Allen.
Yeah.
He seems to be kind of working himself into a role there as part of a committee, even though Breece Hall's going to get his touches. Don't worry about that. But they're adding more runs to give Braylon Allen some volume because he's been so effective. And if Breece Hall gets hurt, you've got a top 10 running back on your hands if you've got him. So that's another guy I'd be looking to scoop off the waivers.
I agree with that. Okay, let's get to this chat really quick for a sec. Let's see. Albert in the house. Surprise. Welcome in, my guy. Nino, sorry if I said that wrong. Feels great getting a final answer on Zamir after what he did versus Carolina. Yeah. Worthless. Zamir White, worthless, man. Who knew? Well, dude, I didn't keep it anywhere.
Yeah, I've been saying for a while Zamir White wasn't any good.
You did. You talked me off that ledge all offseason because I was like, but if he's the lead back there and they didn't really pursue much else in the offseason, I was like, man, maybe they do believe in this guy.
It's just a guy.
He's just a guy, and so I was like, I don't know, and just not great. So I'm glad I
have somebody next year.
I'm glad I don't have Zamir White anywhere. So that makes me happy. But in your leagues, go to that Zamir White guy. He's probably panicking right now because he thought he had himself a late round RB, starting RB there that he drafted late in the draft and was feeling pretty good about himself going 0 RB. And so probably struggling for a running back. So if you've got some depth, I would go target that guy and get you a trade.
For real.
So, all right. By the way, I've got Instagram going up here. So if you see me talking and you can't hear me or I'm waving up here, I'm just saying hi to my Instagrammers up there. So, yeah, that might look a little funny, just letting people know. We got wish list over here. What's up? All right, let's see. Tyler in the house. What up, Tyler? He said lost 3 games by less than 3 points this week. Ugh, yeah, that's rough, dude. Yeah. That is rough. I pretty much, and all my losses, I got blown out. And then my 2 wins, I only got 2 wins this week. I won by 2.5 points in one, and then the other one I won by like 40 points or something. But my Scott Fish Bowl was probably my most disappointing. That was the one where I was projected to win by about 60, and I way underperformed. I scored half the points I'd been scoring the first 2 weeks and just absolutely flopped. So I went from top 250 to now just barely in the top 500. So I'm pretty disappointed. I was wanting to work my way up there, but
man, my Scott Fish Bowl team just keeps crapping the bed.
Tight ends, dude. Tight ends.
They just keep crapping in the fishbowl, man. I got cloudy water in mine.
Well, it's a tight end premium league for those that don't know. Mark Andrews got me 0 points and Kittle was out. So my tight end situation there was rough this week.
Mm-hmm.
Tight end's not so good. And I like how your team in there, Kyle, is the tight end whisperer. And none of them are doing anything for you.
I know. It's sad. I mean, when you draft McBride, Kincaid, and Engram,
yeah,
and you can't get 10 points combined out of them any 1 week, like that's sad.
I hear you, man. let's see. Call that Komet performance though on the show Friday. That's good, man. Yeah, he had a big week. Big week.
Sell him if you got him. Probably be the only big week he has all year.
I'm not loving that. Let's see. No tone actual. No tone actual. Sure, we'll go with that. Sorry, I was gonna say that. Friend off of Twitch there. Hello, half PPR.
Could be not one actual. Also.
Okay, are you dropping P Ryan for Roschon Johnson? That's tough. I think so though.
Probably.
P Ryan wasn't quite as involved as I thought he was gonna be.
No, I didn't expect them to use Carson Steele that much. Like, I like Roschon Johnson a lot.
Yeah, Roschon Johnson is.
I would make that move.
How do you say his name? I say Roschon. Is that not it?
I've heard it Roschon. I've heard it Roschon.
Oh, I'm gonna stick with Roschon.
I don't say it consistently one way or the other. To be honest with you, kind of just how I feel like at the time.
Mr. Johnson is outperforming Swift and Herbert. Swift has not done jack crap.
Nope.
So I'm pretty surprised. I thought he would be getting more of little dump off passes, through the season. I mean, we saw it in the preseason. Little dump off, get a nice little, 40 yard scamper. It ain't happening, man. He's getting 13 rushes for 20 yards. Ouch.
Está horrible.
Ouch. I'm gonna look up Roschon's stats a little bit here. Listed as the third running back in here, but 8 carries, 30 yards.
He should be the starter though.
And 4 catches on 5 targets. Yeah, I don't hate that, man. I don't hate that at all. So hopefully I have him in Dynasty, so I'm hoping that pays off. In one Dynasty league, I traded him off already. Damn. All right. Anyways, I guess. So yeah, I would drop P Ryan and go for Roschon. I think Roschon's got some high upside there. And they're both probably on your bench right there. So I'm going for the most upside.
Yep.
And with Kareem Hunt being activated and stuff, that worries me a little bit there. With Steele, as much as he was being used, it's got me worried.
Roschon's got the opportunity to kind of take over that role for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Whereas P Ryan doesn't.
Yep. Let's see. Before I I'll do that in a second. All right. Brent, what's up, my guy? Says, is it time to punt on CMC? Hearing he went to another country for it makes me feel like it's much more serious. Is it time to move on? Like, is it even a possibility he comes? We kind of know what you know at the moment. That's kind of the sentiment, is he may be done for the season, which is a scary thought.
Yeah. And my view on it is I was selling him 2 weeks ago. If you can get something for him with someone who's optimistic he comes back and you can get the right thing for it, I'm selling.
I mean, it's hindsight 2020. On CMC, probably your 1.1, you're not selling him as soon as you hear he might be injured and going to be out for 4 weeks or even 6 weeks, because you're like, okay, he can come back later. Then they put him on IR, and it's like, well, that sucks, but he'll come back in 4 to 6 weeks and probably be good. It can come back in the second half of my season and take me to a championship. Now we're hearing, okay, it might be more serious. He's going to another country. Yeah, hindsight's 2020 on selling CMC. It's hard to pull the trigger on that, because you could be selling him for not that great.
It's not hindsight. I was saying it live on here 2 weeks ago. I was ready to sell.
It's easy to say when you don't I held on to him in 2 leagues because there is that possibility, and you're selling him at such a discount then that if he comes back later on, I mean, you could be handing another team a championship. CMC is a dangerous player to go up against or have on your team. It's hard to sell him at a discounted price because there's a possibility he might be hurt longer than you want. It's tough.
I wouldn't say it'd be easy, and you definitely need to get fair value for him. I'm not just selling him for anything, but yeah, I don't know. It depends on your level of belief and whether he comes back or not. Some people believe, some don't. I don't.
Here's my problem. Here's my problem with it. If he comes back now, Mason's been playing so well right?
That's true, yeah.
That what kind of volume is he going to get?
They
Probably
don't
not
need
like
to
he
give
was.
max value. Yeah.
I mean, the dude's a beast, but he gets so much work. Well, he might not get that kind of volume anymore. And so a lot of these that his value is based off of that volume and the way they've been using Debo Samuel too. I mean, they're using these guys. Granted, it got Debo hurt as usual, right?
Another one that's always hurt. Yeah.
We say that about Debo. I feel like when Debo was in doing what he was doing with CMC out, he's kind of running some running back, this gadget player, he got hurt. And then when they brought in CMC and they took him out of that little bit of gadget, not running back quite as much, he stayed healthy. Now he kind of had to move back into that role and he got hurt again. So he just doesn't hold up well in that role, it seems like.
His health is tied to whether or not CMC is playing.
Yeah, their health is tied together. It's quite dangerous. Debo, as soon as CMC goes down, should be like, oh no. I am kind of curious. I was going off of just memory there of how often Debo is hurt. And I'm going to see last year. So last year, Debo missed 2 games, week 7 and 8. That had nothing to do. He got hurt in week 6 at the very beginning of the game. And then missed week 7 and 8. Christian McCaffrey was healthy during that time. 2022, Debo missed week 8, 15, 16, and 17. And in that same year, 2022, McCaffrey played in all games. So what I said was apparently total BS, but it felt right when I was saying it. So don't listen to me, apparently. Yeah, total BS. That doesn't add up. The math don't math. But it felt that way. So anyway,
if you can sell them both, sell them both.
I'm not selling Debo. I like Debo this year.
Trading for Jawan Jennings.
God. Oh, look at the viewer count just tanked. No, okay. All right, let's see. Lion Light Worship. What's up, my guy? Is Andy Dalton the real deal? Like, is he that much better than Bryce? Is Bryce a bust? Oh, I'll let you go first on this, but I have thoughts.
Sort of. Yes and yes. Those are the answers to your questions. The real deal, I mean, he was good with the Bengals for quite a while. Yes, he's that much better than Bryce. Bryce is just not good. Bryce is a bust, for sure. I believe so.
Okay. Here's my thought. Andy Dalton is experienced. That's what I'm going to give him. He's got experience. He's mature. Bryce does not have experience. He is not mature. He's on a shit team. Okay, I know that team won this week, but there were a lot of upsets this week in the NFL. It was ridiculous how many upsets there were in the NFL this week. It was crazy to watch. It was like watching fantasy football in real life. It was really strange. So the game outcome doesn't really matter to me. To me, Bryce Young is a young quarterback on a really crappy team. And that's really hard for a quarterback, like a young quarterback, a kid, to step in and try to take over and try to be a leader on that. Bryce Young will benefit sitting behind Andy Dalton for a little bit. He got thrown right into the fire from the get-go last year, and it would ruin your career. That's why a lot of these top quarterbacks that go to really crap teams that are drafted number 1 overall have a really hard time with their career because they get put on a really crappy team and it can tank their career from the get-go.
Well, but here's the thing. C.J. Stroud could have gone to that team and done better than Bryce did.
We don't know that. You don't know that.
I think so. Just looking at who they are as players, I think so.
We don't know
but
that.
also, again, like Trevor Lawrence, what happened to him? He actually has a good team there. He still can't put it together. People still think he's a good quarterback, but is he?
I mean, is C.J. Stroud, did he just have a lucky rookie season? He's not performing like that again this year.
Nobody is. Pat Mahomes ain't performing this year.
I know. I'm just saying, like, he had a decent year last year, but is he going to be able to keep that up? We don't know. We have 1 year's worth of stuff. Like, I don't know. I think it's going to be good for Bryce to sit behind Andy Dalton for a little bit. I think it'll be good for him. But that team still sucks. They're horrible.
That franchise is more of a dumpster fire than week 3 was for fantasy.
Yeah, if I'm Bryce, I'm going, cool. I'm pulling the same paycheck and not going to die out there on the field getting crushed by the defenders. So, yeah, sure. Pay me, and I'll sit over here and listen to my little earbuds and learn. Sure. So, did I already do AJ in the house?
No, but it's good to see.
This guy in the house. Oh, AJ has Andrews in Dynasty, as do I, and we should mourn together.
Dude, just tight ends as a position this year has been sad.
But Andrews, like, one really crappy target this week. That's all he got. It was one target. He's not even in the game plan. He's not even in the game. Jeez, old Pete. What do we think about Andrews, man?
Yeah, and
33% of snaps he was on the field count, a third of the snaps.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there with him. I'm starting to get worried, though.
Oh, I'm really worried. I'm really worried about Andrews.
He's still a Pro Bowl tight end and one of the best receiving options on that team. So, like, I'm not giving up after 3 weeks, but I'm keeping a close eye on that for sure.
I just don't know how this guy just goes from, like, the best receiving option on that offense to doesn't exist on that offense.
I wonder if maybe it's not just a little bit more rust than we expected coming back from that injury. I mean, it has only been 3 weeks into playing. Like, maybe he's having a little more complication with that than we thought. Coming back, getting fluidity back and moving, and maybe, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is right yet, but
yeah,
definitely concerning.
Yeah, I mean, one target, and it was way off. Like, it wasn't even close, dude. Wasn't even close. Oh, let's see. Where do you rank Jaden Daniels rest of season? I know you were high on him coming into the season. I think a lot were because of his dual threat ability.
Everybody knew he had a ton of upside. It's nice to see him, for the most part, like last week was a stinker, but for the most part, living up to that.
I mean, he's a rookie. I mean, he's doing pretty damn good. He's like this year's CJ Stroud style.
Yeah, probably. I think he ends up probably, like, I don't want to get too crazy. He's going to have some ups and downs as a rookie, and being the NFC East, I know what our schedule looks like. They have to play all the same teams. It's a tough schedule. So I'm not going to say top 5, but like 8 to 10 range. I could see him landing there by the end of the season, top 8.
Here's what catches my attention. 16, 10, and 12. Those are his rushing attempts in the first 3 games.
There's running backs that wish they were getting that kind of volume.
What the heck is that? Let's see what Jalen Hurts is getting. 13, 13, 8. Okay.
Jalen Hurts ain't as fast, though. He's not getting the yards on that many rushes that Daniels is.
Josh Allen, 9.26. Let's see Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson, 16.5, 14. So he's kind of getting Lamar Jackson numbers.
Mm-hmm. Jackson's having a hell of a season.
So man, that's crazy, dude. Good for him. I think he's going to do really well. Really well there. So,
I just hope he stays healthy. Doesn't get RG3. Like, he's really, really good. RG3, that was so sad for him. Like, he could have been something super special.
He was doing well. I'll give him that. I haven't gotten to watch Daniels too much. I don't know how much contact he's taken, because that was one thing with RG3. He was just taking too many hits, dude.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't smart about it.
He was playing like Anthony Richardson plays.
Jeez, yes. Dude.
Anthony Richardson scares the crap out of me for that
Anthony
very
Richardson
reason.
has 2 or less games in him, which is probably what Michael Pittman owners are hoping for.
And that's the reason why Lamar Jackson's career's lasted as long as it has already and will for more years. Is like, yeah, he's had years where he got hurt, but it's not because he's getting hit. Like,
who'd you say, Lamar?
Lamar, he don't take them hits either.
No, dude, he steps out of bounds when he needs to step out of bounds. He's very smart about it.
Yeah, you got to be smart, man.
Yep. So, anyways, where do we rank him rest of season? I mean, I think he's top 10. I think that's kind of about where I'm willing to
now. I was gonna say I think top 8 is a good.
Yep. I almost said top 8, and I decided not to be so ambitious, but I think that's a good call. He's number 2 right now. Can he keep it up? My worry is that he will get hurt. I think that's what worries me.
Well, and he'll have some of these games like Dallas has had against, the Saints, the Ravens, some of these tougher defenses too. He just got done playing the Giants, and the Bengals aren't quite as tough of defenses. So, yeah, I think he's going to have some games where he struggles, and so I think that keeps him out of the top 5, but not by much.
Yeah. I have a feeling, and this is me I'm just making stuff up, right? But these tougher defenses, he may end up running more against because he'll just pull the ball down and run more. I just have a feeling the tougher the secondary, the more rushes he's probably going to take. So just a thought of how that's probably going to roll out.
That's possible.
Yeah. All right, we got AJB in the house. Situations are situational, of course. Okay, they got a little love fest. Let's see. You guys believe there's possibly Rams don't even bring back Puka and/or Cooper this year if they lose out bad? No.
I don't see that happening, especially with Puka. He'll come back.
See,
Cooper,
I have this.
I don't know. I don't think either one of them will sit out the rest of the year. Neither one of them's injury is bad enough for that.
Here's the thing. I have a hard time with teams pulling the plug early in a season or ever, right? They're paying these players to go out and play, and they've got them only a certain amount of years. And to just give up on a season like that, especially so early. So the conversation I was having earlier is about the Miami Dolphins. They're probably going to pull the plug on Tua. So what's the value on Tyreek with that? And it's like, well, they only have Tyreek for this year, maybe next year. I don't know, dude. Like, I don't see them just pulling the plug. They're probably going to go try to trade for a quarterback or something. But I don't see them just being like, this season's over after 3 weeks.
When you say pull the plug on Tua, you're talking about life support there versus giving up on the season with everybody else.
Yeah, dude's a vegetable. You pulling the plug or not?
But, you're paying the players to play. Puka and Cooper are both going to be back around, week 8 or 9 max? I mean, you got to think about, there's still a chance that they could – an outside chance, but a chance they could win some games between now and then and make the playoffs still if they come back and win some more. But you got to think, too, these teams are selling tickets to fans who want to see these guys. They're not going to pull the plug halfway through the season or less.
Yep.
And just sit these guys when they're healthy. It's not going to happen.
And they just beat the 49ers. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, that's just not going to happen. So
you've got a lot of talent on that team.
Puka and Cooper, if they're able, they will be back. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, let's see. I won 172.99 because of Jawan Jennings. Yeah.
Screw you for playing Jawan. I was playing against him in a league. The guy had no business playing Jawan Jennings, but he did anyways, and he thumped my butt about it.
Yeah.
I forget. He had somebody on his bench. I'm like, why would you not? Oh, he had Ladd McConkey on his bench to put Jawan Jennings. I'm like,
with Palmer out.
Who makes that move? Nobody. Come on, man.
I agree. Void mate, Jaleel McLaughlin for Bucky Irving. He would be getting Bucky Irving.
Give me Irving.
Yeah, I want Bucky here.
Yeah, I
don't trust that Broncos team as a whole, honestly.
They're going to have a different leading rusher every week, and none of them are going to be efficient with their carries because that offense is horrible.
And Bucky, is going to be in scoring position and have opportunities. Period.
Yep.
Because that offense, granted, they were not efficient this week. I don't know what happened to that team. They fell apart this week, but that team is going to be better. So
Yeah.
I do that.
That happens. The Bucks just fell apart this week.
Yep.
Houston fell apart this week. Like, it happens.
Yep. Great. Let's see. Okay.
Like last week when Dallas lost to the Saints. I think they're a better football team than us. Do I think they're 44-19 better than us? No.
I still think that the Saints caught some people off guard early in the season, and they're not going to be able to do that sort of thing moving forward.
Philly took advantage of that this week. They studied the first 2 weeks of tape.
Well, I agree, and you can kind of shut down Shaheed. They cut out that long ball, and I mean it kind of Shaheed. Nobody saw that kind of performance coming from Shaheed in the first 2 weeks, right? So
you shut down Shaheed, you shut down Kamara, and that team is dead in the water.
Yeah, they struggled. I mean, Olave got his, but they really controlled them a lot better. So, all right, let's see. Do I trade Kupp and Mark Andrews for DeVonta Smith and Njoku? I currently have Juwan Jennings. Oh, heck yeah.
Yes, do that.
I'm doing that.
Do it.
Kupp might be coming back, but we don't know when.
Yeah, I don't know when Kupp is coming back. Davante, his isn't going to be a long-term thing. Njoku probably should be back anytime.
Yep.
Hell, he's getting more targets, on IR or on the injured list than Mark Andrews is playing. So, yeah, I'd do that. I'd do that trade in a heartbeat.
I agree. Yeah, DeVonta Smith's got a concussion. He'll be back. Yeah, he might be back. Like you said, he might be back before Kupp. So
he'll miss a week tops.
I mean, I could see 2 weeks, but 1 week, you're right, because he's got a bye. So he's got Tampa Bay. He'll probably miss that game. Then he's got a bye. And then in week 6, Cleveland. So, yeah, he'll probably only miss 1 game technically.
Well, I mean,
that's lucky timing.
The majority of concussions, you get through the protocol in a week anyways.
Majority, I just usually count about 2 weeks just in case, especially he took a pretty hard hit. So
he deserved it.
AJ says, I think teams are going to figure out the Niners this year. I think not having CMC really, really hurts that team, even though Mason's fine.
Not having CMC and Debo.
Well, and Kittle. They were out Kittle, too.
No Kittle. Like, Aiyuk clearly is not enough to carry that team because Juwan Jennings had to step up and do it. So,
dude.
Bet they're glad they paid Aiyuk all that money.
How does that team have so many weapons? Jeez, that is nuts, dude. That is nuts.
They're cheating. That's all I know.
Yeah, that's wild. AJ thinks that Mark Andrews is going to be okay. I don't know, man. I'm getting pretty worried. And I love Mark Andrews. Boomer Sooner. But I am worried.
I still think he gets right. I think it has something to do with the carryover from that injury.
There's
no way a Pro Bowl tight end is just suddenly getting
no
targets for no reason.
I agree. I just don't know what has changed in their game plan, and it makes me worried. But, I mean, now let me look up here, too, because everyone was on Isaiah Likely's nuts, and
I think maybe
Likely has disappeared after the first game. Likely's done, too.
Maybe
Flowers didn't do good.
Well, did the tight ends have to block a lot this week against Dallas with that pass rush? Probably.
Well, Lord knows Henry is the only guy that really had anything going on that game.
Because I think the reason why they might be working Andrews back slowly from that injury and letting him get better is because they have the luxury of an Isaiah Likely that can fill in for him, admirably and get some targets. So, I don't know. I think that's probably the most likely scenario.
All I know is Derrick Henry and Rashad Bateman were kind of the only guys that produced anything this week. And yet they still racked it up against Dallas pretty good. So, all right. Sounds like you didn't watch the game last night. I don't know who he's talking to or what, but sure. Let's see. I like the video. Thanks, man. Yeah, everyone like this dang video. Like the video. Subscribe to our channel. Let's see. What is going on with T-Law and the Jags? Woo. The Jags, man.
I think it's coaching. I think because they got too much damn talent on that team to be playing that bad.
Yeah. Ugh. I don't know if you were a part
It is
of
painful, though.
I don't know if you were a part of it at the expo, but there was a big debate about Trevor Lawrence in a 4-point passing league. Is he going to be a top 14?
I remember that. It was after the Friday night party. We were all out there.
Did you say yes or no to that? I said no.
I said no.
Yeah. And so looking good for us so far. But all the other quarterbacks are also underperforming, though he's sitting at the number 28 quarterback right now. But this 6-point passing, I think, is what this scoring is. So I don't know in a 4-point passing where he's sitting right now, but it's probably not much better.
No.
Considering he's only thrown 2 touchdowns. And yeah, he's not doing good. So woof. All right, let's see. JD5 popping off. Yep. Oh, I am not putting that on screen. Sorry. Isaiah likely is better than Mark as a receiver. Yeah, there's
probably better than you as a typer as well.
Better than you as a person since you're an Eagles fan. So he just automatically is just a better person in life. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
Is there a true pocket passer now? Andy Dalton.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. There are some.
There are some. Yeah. Not many left, but yeah, there's some. I don't see Matt Stafford running around too much.
Yeah. If I was Tyreek, I'd be out of South Florida. I mean, this is probably why he was trying to get arrested. That's all I'm saying. Just lock me up. Oh, are you trading Olave and lost Pacheco and have Connor?
Oh, you have him on Raw and Collins? Yeah, I'd probably make that move.
Yeah, I think so.
You need a running back. That's
okay. Here's another question. Oh, what's up, Lab? Here's another question. Would you trade Tyreek Hill for Etienne? Is Tyreek Hill how you feel about him for the rest of the season?
You can get Etienne. I am not banking on Tua making it back this year. If I can get someone like Etienne for him, I'm probably pulling that trigger because that's probably the highest value you're going to get for him right now. Yep. I'd still maybe try to squeeze out a little bit more, but honestly, I would do that. Yeah, I would trade.
Would you do that in redraft for sure? Would you do it in Dynasty too?
See, in Dynasty, I'd probably try to get more for sure.
Yep.
Try to play up to it being back next year and him only being one down year and try to get more out of it. But I'm trying to sell Tyreek Hill right now.
Yeah, I was having a conversation earlier with a coworker actually, and man, I kind of want Tua to just retire. Dude, he's got me worried. I don't like it. I told him, I was like, I don't watch football to watch somebody die. Like, it's not entertaining.
I was telling somebody that myself just the other day. I don't remember who it was now, but I was like, dude, I hope to God that kid retires because it is just not worth it. He's already made a ton of money. It's just not worth it. Like, call it a day. Go coach. Go, broadcast somewhat. Do something else. You can still be involved with football, but that kid don't need to be taking hits to the head anymore. That's too scary. And every time it happens, it lasts longer and longer. It gets worse and worse. You're just compounding that. Like, no, it's not worth that.
Yeah.
And that, honestly, that's going to be – because the coaches are going to want him to play. He's going to want to play.
Yep.
That's going to be up to his trainers, his friends, his family to be the voice of reason there.
I mean, Andrew Luck walked away from it. Tua can too. I mean –
Yep.
It is what it is. It scares me. And I'm not really like a Tua fan. Like, I've never really been a big fan of Tua or anything. So it's not really anything like That's not why I watch football. I don't like watching this. I don't like holding my breath every time I see him get hit. Because like, is this going to be the one? Like, it's bad, man.
Now, if it was like Deshaun Jackson a decade ago, or some other Eagles player, like, okay, maybe. But
I mean, there's people in the chat probably that are probably like, yeah, Deshaun Watson too, but mine.
Well, Watson too. I meant Deshaun Jackson. Kind of a Freudian slip there, I suppose. But
I was gonna say, I think Cleveland fans right now are like, hey, we would take it at this point. Like,
yeah.
We'll take Jameis Winston over that.
You just don't want to see that over and over again.
Yeah.
It scares you. And like, it reminds me, I don't know, like you probably remember, some of our guys in the chat might be too young, I don't know, but years ago on the Colts, when Peyton Manning was still playing, they had that kid, Austin Collie, that kept getting concussions, playing out of the slot. Every time he crossed, he'd get hit and get a concussion. And it's like, finally, he retired too. It's like, it's just not worth that.
Nope.
And this reminds me a lot of that. Like, it's getting bad.
Well, I don't know if you know anything about Brett Favre testifying in front of Congress. I think it was today. And come to find out he has Parkinson's or whatever, but they don't know how it's doing. Anyways, I guess when he was testifying, he said that he probably over his career probably had like thousands of concussions. It was just constant concussions.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, I remember watching Troy Aikman get concussion after concussion, and it was just like every time he got tackled, it was a concussion. And it's like, what the heck, dude? Like, some people just get too many concussions.
Yeah,
and that can mess with you.
Troy Aikman, yeah, he used to get a bunch of them. But like back in the day, they all did, right? All the defenders were smacking everybody with their helmets. They all were playing with concussions constantly.
You know what they should be playing with? Their mouthpieces in. Okay, that's my soapbox. That's as high I'm gonna get up on it, but I'm just saying science is science. Okay. Anyways, we got Millie Mills. What up, man? Thanks for coming in. Says Kirk Cousins. You like that? AJ says, I corrected my mistype, Kyle. Jesus, stop being so miserable. Oh, I love it. Speaking of miserable, could you imagine being an Eagles fan? Anyways, can I get any draft picks for Tank Bigsby?
Maybe if you went to the Etienne owner, you could get a later pick, but I wouldn't expect too much for him now.
Yeah, I agree. Millie Mill says, Kyle, this damn A-Rich is really tempting my drop player button. Looks worse than Zach Wilson. He doesn't look good. He doesn't look good.
Try to find a believer in your league and trading. Try it. You have to try it.
Yeah.
Buy one of these other currently underperforming guys that you believe in. Yeah, that's what I would do.
I had such high hopes.
I did too. It's really sad. Luckily, I don't own him anywhere. It's all of my dynasty leagues, especially, everybody was so high on him they wouldn't sell at all, and it kind of saved me from myself. So thank you, all you people who wouldn't trade Anthony Richardson.
I thought he would be doing much better, and he had that big first week. I was like, oh, here we go, flop. So that was sad. I don't know that I'm ready to drop him, but I'm looking to trade him. You might as well get something. Something is better than nothing. And there are some quarterbacks that are already hurt, so you can go ahead and go out and try to, because some people be looking for fill-ins, until Jordan Love gets back. Well, they might take a flyer on Richardson. So I wouldn't drop him, but I would trade him. So if your team needs a new washer, a new washing machine or something like that, I would trade for that. So
exactly.
If that's a movie reference, by the way, guys. Kyle, name that movie.
Semi-Pro.
Yeah, that's right. You would know that, though. Okay.
I would.
All right. Rest of season, would you rather have Davante Adams or Chris Olave? I'm going Olave because we know who his quarterback is going to be. That team is better.
By a pretty good margin, in my opinion.
Yeah, to me, that's not even close. Did you guys see Lane Johnson throwing up on the field tonight? He had a concussion. He's also a big mental health guy. Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, I did see that.
That was bad. So, yeah, the speed of the game today is 100 times faster and harder than the 90s. Yeah, I mean, they're faster, they're stronger.
Faster and stronger, but they were still hitting pretty freaking hard back then.
Oh, I see where AJ was going. He wanted to talk about our 5 Super Bowls that his team doesn't have. I didn't realize. Okay. Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's funny how other people live in the Cowboys past more than the Cowboys fans do. That's interesting. Anyways, do I trade Anthony Richardson and Jameson Williams for Kyler Murray, Puka in a 10-man redraft?
Yes, immediately.
Yes.
Yesterday. Do that yesterday. You cannot
Yeah.
click accept fast enough on that one.
Yeah, because all the Jameson Williams truthers. Yep, that's about how much they're talking right now. Just dead silence. So, yeah, it's real quiet out there. A lot of truthers out there trying to be like, I told you so, I told you so. He's a boom bust player. We told you so.
He just happened. He's Tyler Lockett 2.0. He just happened to put 2 of those booms back to back.
And some players are just gonna do that.
But yes, hurry up and do this one for sure.
Yeah, I would do that in a heartbeat. Dude, what straight dude isn't a pervert? Get out of here, bro.
Let me rephrase that. Not even who isn't, but who hasn't been accused of it.
Well, also, I take that back.
Public spotlight.
Gay dudes are perverts too. Dudes are perverts. We never grow up. Whatever.
Any rich white guy in a spotlight right now is getting accused of it. So,
yeah.
I'm sure your owner and coach and I mean Sirianni's a piece of crap. I'm sure he's done some stuff.
Sirianni has got to be the most hated coach in the NFL. That dude is so annoying.
He's got such a punchable face.
And
he just put one of these right in his suck hole. Name that movie.
Like he was trying to calm down whatever. That's hold on, Step Brothers.
Yep. I'll give you one more hint. Pow,
pow! But Sirianni, like over there trying to calm down his player from talking crap and misbehaving on silent. It's like, dude, he gets that from you. Are you just upset because you're not the one getting to do it? Like you're a piece of trash, dude. Sirianni is the worst. Can't stand that guy. Bye, AJ. Don't need your subscribe anyways, and we know you're not doing that because you know you love us.
Lose my number and delete my feet pics.
Okay, you can keep the feet pics.
They're my feet. I said no.
Speaking of perverts.
My body, my choice.
All right, let's see. The thing is, I traded for him to be my fill-in once Love got hurt. See there? That's why I'm staying mad. Remember, A-Rich had a hell of a day week 1, so I'm partially mad myself, but damn.
Yeah, somebody else sold high after one good performance.
Yep, they got you.
Now you got before he has no more value left.
Mm-hmm. This is interesting. Caden says, I went from Aiyuk and LaPorta to Godwin and Engram. Thoughts? I don't love it.
I think you over the course of the season, you probably double downgraded. As of current point scoring, you probably Godwin's been better than Aiyuk so far.
Godwin's been fantastic.
LaPorta,
but I don't know that he can keep that.
LaPorta will get right. The Jacksonville offense looks rough, and Engram hadn't even been playing. I don't know. If there was a way to have Godwin and LaPorta, you'd be best off. But
so earlier we were talking about we're talking about the Jags offense looking absolutely horrid, and then we were talking about Etienne earlier. With that offense struggling so much, do you still have faith that Etienne will perform?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
He's not as reliant on Trevor Lawrence as these receivers are.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he's gonna get enough work. I feel like. So he's also a good receiving back. I'm not sure how much work. Tank doesn't take much from him. So Etienne is pretty much a workhorse back.
Week 1, they split pretty good, I think, but that's not going to be typical. And they're going to have some games where they play better and they're playing with a lead. They're another one of those really inconsistent teams that has some really good weeks and some really bad weeks, like this week.
Tank got 12 carries that first week, but he didn't get any targets. He didn't Etienne is definitely the receiver out of that.
That's the thing about Etienne. Yeah, they're going to get him the ball in space. He's still going to create plays.
Yep. So they split 50-50 on carries, but Etienne got the receptions and the touchdown, which is what really matters.
I think ultimately, though, Caden, on that, I would have rather stuck with LaPorta and Aiyuk.
Yeah, same. I think
as much as I love Godwin this year and how he's been playing already, I still would have rather the other side.
Yep. Let's see. The trade I made was Monty and JMO for Rich and Taji. Boy, do I regret that now.
Yeah. You should have asked us about that one before you. Then you wouldn't have to be asking us about this one.
Wish I had a phone number to a therapist for you. That's rough.
Yikes.
That's real rough. Sorry about that, man.
That's almost as bad. That's almost as bad as signing Kirk Cousins to a long-term deal and then drafting Michael Penix Jr.
Yeah, that's really rough. So before we answer any more questions really quick, I do want to mention, guys, we have the ticker down at the bottom that says all unanswered questions can be asked at fantasysportsadvice.com after the show. That is our 24/7 ultimate fantasy sports community over there. It's social media network dedicated 100% to fantasy sports. You can go over there, and we have all of our content creators, 16 of us on the team. Plus, we have other brands on there, people, other players and stuff. You can post polls and ask your questions and hang out and talk ball all the time. You don't have to worry about the politics. You don't have to worry about other people's CrossFit workouts or what their stupid kids are doing or anything like that. You don't care about their vacations. So go over there, talk ball, hang out with us, and you can get your questions answered pretty much anytime. We're all on there. And we have a mobile app, so you can download it and have it at your fingertips.
And as a quick sidebar, if you're into fantasy basketball, we're getting that up and cranking right now too. So,
yes, sir. Baseball coming soon too. So we're
putting our baseball team together currently, but basketball is starting to get some content rolling already. So
yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there, guys. And so go join that social media network. Have some fun there. So, all righty, let's get back to the questions real quick. 10-man PPR. Okay, looks like that's his roster. So the question is, should I trade Connor and JMO for Rachaad White and DJ Moore?
No.
You like Connor and JMO more than White and DJ Moore, correct?
Yes.
Same. And really, Connor is the deal there.
Connor's the driving force there. I know he had a rough week this week, but I really, really like Connor over the course of the year. JMO's going to have his big weeks. DJ Moore is going to be, pretty consistent. We talked about our concern with Rachaad White earlier.
Well, and here's the thing. You don't need to upgrade JMO to DJ Moore because you have CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase, and DK Metcalf.
Yeah. Keep the better running back.
Yeah. Yeah. So you do not need JMO to DJ Moore. So I'm keeping Connor over Rachaad White. Faux show. All right. Poke Squid. Let's see. I have Kyron Dobbins. I'm on Raw, blah, 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 blah. What running back can I trade for? Man, that is a really hard question. You got to look through rosters and see what people's needs are. But you have Kyron Dobbins. Najee. Who's BTJ? Am I stupid?
Shit. I feel like I should know that.
I don't know who that is, but
I'm blanking.
But honestly, like Kyron Dobbins, Najee.
Oh, Brian Thomas Jr.
Oh, yeah. Jesus. You might be able to. Got it. No, Brian Thomas been doing pretty decent.
Because I'm not a Najee guy. Dobbins has been looking good. I would take like Najee and Brian Thomas and just try to trade up. Hell, I don't hate trying to make a move for a Connor.
Yeah. I'm not loving Najee.
Who do you have? Kyron, Dobbin. Like Aaron Jones, Josh Jacobs are other good options.
Josh Jacobs will come back. I'm not so
Et-
worried about him.
Etienne is not a bad option.
When Mixon comes back healthy, I'm liking Mixon once he's healthy.
Stevenson, I like Stevenson.
Stevenson's cheaper too. People still discount Stevenson.
Yeah, speaking of cheaper, a guy I think you get right now would be like Kenneth Walker.
Oh yeah.
While he's missing time, go try to buy him up cheap.
Yep.
And we talked about Bucky Irving earlier. Maybe you could do, Coleman or Thomas Jr. for Bucky type straight over type of deal.
That's true. Like that. Some freshmen for freshmen kind of.
Those are some guys I like that you
get some freshman on freshman action. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see.
Go find a guy with Roschon Johnson and trade for him.
Sirianni stinks. I'll put that up on there. I also got the JT owner thinking right now on a trade for Connor and JMO for JT. I'd pull the trigger on that if you can.
Yep, I'd do that one if I could.
Hurts is a great fantasy QB. Agree with that. His rushing is fantastic. Sirianni stinks. Man, that's going to be weird. That keeps popping up on screen. That's strange. Leave my Falcons alone. Yeah, that's true. Okay, that's good. AJ, yes, hockey is in the talks for next year, but it is in talks. We work with a lot of Canadians, and they're super interested in hockey. So eventually we'll have hockey. We'll also be eventually we'll have soccer, which I know probably isn't exciting too many people in here, but we want to have that with the FIFA World Cup coming. And we also want to get into, I know it sounds silly, but golf and NASCAR. Those are also pretty popular. And so we're trying to get into all the fantasy sports. And so we'll get there eventually. So yeah, stick around for hockey.
We do have a surprising amount of Canadians on our team, and I love it.
Yeah, what do we have? We have like 5 Canadians on our team. It's wild, dude.
Yeah, and they really are just as nice as you think they're going to be.
Yeah, and they're sorry about it. All right, what about DK for JT?
Yep.
I think that depends on
what the looks like. Well, didn't he put it up earlier?
That was the one. Okay.
Lamb and Chase. So, yeah, I would do DK for JT.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. I would do that. Okay, let's see. Stroud's my QB. I could use a running back. Should my first priority be Dowdle? Or if QB, which one? My options are Jones, Fields, Dalton, Williams.
Williams isn't Caleb Williams?
Probably, but I don't know that. I'm not loving that.
Kind of like Dalton out of that group of QBs.
He needs a running back. Should he go after Dowdle?
Yeah, I don't hate Dowdle.
He's got some upside.
He got quite a bit of work this week. Baltimore's a tough D. You won't be able to get him as cheap after this week against the Giants, I don't think. I think he has a pretty decent day this week. But, yeah, I would grab Dowdle. My first priority is Bucky Irving if he's available, though.
Same. But out of these quarterbacks with Jones, Fields, Dalton, Williams, whatever, I wouldn't waste a priority spot on them, right? Like one of them is going to be left after, probably 3 of them are going to be left after waivers runs, right? So I would probably just wait till after waivers. I'd probably grab Dowdle or Bucky Irving, like Kyle said, would be my first, and then maybe Dowdle, and then just pick up one of those quarterbacks off the waivers after. Yep. One will be left, and they're all kind of the same, so I'm not worried about it. All right, Kyle, Millie Mills, after your heart here. Shit, is there ever a year we love Najee? Nope. We all haters in here.
I've been hating Najee since he got – well, no, I'm just saying that. It was just last year and this year. But
yeah, pretty much.
I definitely don't – I'm not a fan of Najee.
Look at this guy. AJ does NASCAR fantasy too. Love it. I have a hard time even. If he says he's into soccer too, then I know he's lying.
Well, it's funny. Like, there's not the content, and people don't talk about it the same way they do fantasy. But there are huge audiences for NASCAR and golf and that stuff. It's kind of wild.
Yeah, very much so. Let's see. That comment touched a spot, huh? Y'all know King Henry. Don't you get it? I don't know
What comment is he talking about?
I don't know. Did I miss something? Maybe it wasn't for us. Oh, the garbage time. The garbage time.
Yeah, dude, if Dallas plays more than the fourth quarter of that game, we probably beat the Ravens. So
yeah.
It is what it is. We played shitty for 3 quarters and then decided, this is how you football.
Yeah, I kind of missed that comment earlier. I wasn't really paying that much of attention to that it was actually a dig on us. So
I glazed over that part of it. I saw Millie defending his Falcons, and then I glazed over the second half.
NASCAR fantasy is wild. Yeah, I hear it gets your heart racing. Thanks. I had to say it. I think I called the one guy Bieber. Let's see. I know I called them. I don't know what's being said right now.
AJ's doing
drugs again. I think the whole fantasy universe put a bid in for Jennings this week. Yeah, probably. But I think it's not going to last long enough for me to waste a bunch of fab on it, or maybe even a roster spot, because this is a short-lived thing while Debo's out, and Kittle. So Kittle and Debo were both out. I'm not banking on this being a long-term type of thing. So, but it is kind of silly that Aiyuk took a backseat to Juwan Jennings instead of being thrust to the front, right? Mm-hmm. Kind of funny. And now it's almost like they are on purpose being like, see, this is why we weren't going to pay you that money. It's almost like they're doing it on purpose to just prove to him.
But now that they have and they're still doing it, it's like, okay, now that's silly.
Now you need at least 3, maybe 4 games of doing it to Aiyuk to prove a point, right?
Maybe.
He's not high on Jamos. What about Connor and DK for JT and Aiyuk? As we're talking shit about Aiyuk.
I'd still do that though. Like, to me, DK and Aiyuk by end of season are probably in about the same boat. And I feel like JT's a pretty good improvement over Connor.
Yeah, you're getting a value off of DK's performance.
Yeah, that's still a win.
I like that. I'm trying to remember who the rest of your team was. Other wide receivers. Yeah, because he's not going to do you don't want to do a CD.
That's the only problem with this format is we can't we have to go back so far to find these rosters and remember as questions keep getting asked. It's like
maybe see if for JT and Aiyuk, maybe see if you can do Connor, Mooney, and Worthy. But I would do that trade if you're not.
These kinds of questions are perfect to go and post on our app where you can see it and then multiple people can come in and weigh on, and then you can go in the comments and update with counters and things like that. That would be my recommendation in case we don't remember your roster correctly when we're answering these.
Yeah. No, I scrolled back up to look at it really quick. Okay, last one, and then we got to hop. But again, guys, if we don't get to your question on here, you have more questions between now and games on Thursday, or you have them on Friday or something. Not only are there more shows on the network here throughout the week, but you can go to fantasysportsadvice.com and you can join our social media network and get on there and talk ball with each other. If you guys in the chat want to continue talking shit with each other, go on there and do it. Doesn't matter. You go on there and ask us questions. You can post polls, whatever, hang out, have a good time. So the last one we're going to do tonight is from Dominic. What a drop Akers this week or hold him. And I think that depends on the status for Joe Mixon, and we just don't know yet. Now, I know that doesn't help you when you're setting waivers tonight and trying to figure out if you should drop him to pick up somebody else. But the thing is, he's also a short-lived thing. As soon as Joe Mixon's back, Cam Akers is back out.
Yeah, very short-term asset. If you need someone this week, hang on to him.
Yeah.
If there's someone on waivers you want to pick up and use the rest of the season or something, go for it.
Yeah, I would think a little long-term on that.
Yeah,
personally. So if there's someone you think is better long-term and you don't have to have this week.
If there's nobody on waivers that's really exciting you and you have the extra roster spot, nothing against holding him so nobody else can use him this week.
Yep. Well, that's the thing. Keeping Akers is also a good defensive move, which is why I went and picked him up in a league last week right before game. I was like, oh, crap. I got to pick him up because I didn't want someone else to. He sat my bench. It is what it is. I wasn't even putting him in my starting lineup. I picked him up so no one else could. Yep. Defensive move. So, Millie says the app is.
I was going to say, because screw all of your opponents.
That's absolutely right. The app is Liddy, too, by the way. Appreciate you, man. Millie.
Thank you, Millie.
It's only going to get better. We are working to make big improvements. We also, guys, I can't tell you what it is. But we have something really big and really cool getting ready to launch soon on there, and it's going to be so fun, dude. It's going to be really cool. I'm excited about it. I've actually got a couple things, but one thing is like pretty much ready to launch. Another thing is still being developed. So we're constantly adding more and more stuff on there to make it more fun for everybody and more useful. So again, go to fantasysportsadvice.com, get signed up there, come hang out with us, and there's going to be some fun tools on there as well. So let's see, AJ, I just realized I should be sending Kyle and Corey my tips.
Don't threaten me with a good time. I want just a tip.
Yeah, you tell us your advice and we'll know what not to do.
Exactly.
Yeah. So anyways, all right, guys, that's going to do it for us tonight. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out. And again, go to fantasyfootballadvice.com or fantasysportsadvice.com. Takes you to the same place. Just go check it out. Come hang out with us. Hope to see you there. And we'll see you on our next stream. Deuces.
See y'all. Good luck.
We are here. We are here. FantasySportsAdvice.com, offering the best fantasy sports social media platform. Why join endless Discord communities or the trolls of Reddit? Fantasy Sports Advice is a community designed to help you win with 24/7 support. Go to FantasySportsAdvice.com and become a pro member for unlimited access. Again, go to FantasySportsAdvice.com today.